Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 16, Text 34. Saha ha uvacha madhuchandaha sahovacha madhuchandaha sardham panchashata tataha sardham panchashata tataha सार्धं पंचाशता ततः यः नः भवान् संजानीते यन्नो भवान् संजानीते तस्मिन् तिष्ठामहे वयं तस्मिन् तिष्ठामहे वयं स होवाच मधुचन्दाः सार्धं पञ्चाशत् तथा यन्नो भवान् संजानीते तस्मिंस्तिष्ठामहे वयम् स होवाच मधुचन्दाः सार्धं पञ्चाशता ततः यन्नो भवान् संजानीते तस्मिंस्तिष्ठामहे वयम्. Can kindly repeat the word to word meaning? Saha, the middle son of Vishwamitra. Ha, indeed. Uvacha, said. Madhuchandaha, Madhuchanda. Sardham, with. Panchashata, the second 50 of the sons, known as the Madhuchandas. Tataha, then, after the first half, were thus cursed. Yaha, what? Naha, on to us. Bhavan, O Father. Sanjanite, as you please. Tasmin, in that. Tishtamahe, shall remain. Vayam, all of us. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. When the elder Madhuchandas were cursed, the younger 50, along with Madhuchanda himself, approached their father and agreed to accept his proposal. Dear father, they said, we shall abide by whatever arrangement you like. Can you repeat the translation? When the elder Madhuchandas were cursed, the younger 50, along with Madhuchanda himself, approached their father and agreed to accept his proposal. Dear father, they said, we shall abide by whatever arrangement you like. Text 35. Jeshtam mantradrisham chakrustvam anmancho vayam smahi vishwamitra sutan aha वीरवन्तो भविष्यथा ये मानं मेनु घृणन्तो वीरवन्तं अकर्तमाम. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Thus the younger Madhuchandas accepted Shurashepa as their eldest brother and told him, "We shall follow your orders." Vishwamitra then said to his obedient sons, "Because you have accepted Shunashepa as your eldest brother, I am very satisfied. By accepting my order, you have made me a father of worthy sons, and therefore I bless all of you to become the fathers of sons also." Purport. Of the 100 sons, half disobeyed Vishwamitra by not accepting Shunashepa as their eldest brother, but the other half accepted his order. Therefore, the father blessed the obedient sons to become the fathers of sons. Otherwise, they too would have been cursed to become sonless mlechas. Text 36. एषवा कुशिका वीरो देवरातस्तम अन्विता अन्ये चाष्टका हारीता जया क्रतुमद आदयः. Vishwamitra said, "O Kushikas, descendants of Kaushika, this Devarata is my son and is one of you. Please obey his orders." O King Parikshit, Vishwamitra had many other sons, such as Ashtaka, Harita, Jaya, and Kratumam. This is the last text of this chapter. Text 37. Evam Kaushika Gotram tu Vishwamitrai Pritak Vidham Parvarantaram Apannam Tadhi Chaivam Prakalpitam. Vishwamitra cursed some of his sons and blessed the others. And he also adopted a son. Thus there were varieties in the Kaushika dynasty, but among all the sons, Devarata was considered the eldest. Thus end the Bhakti purports of the 9th canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Parashurama Destroys the World's Ruling Class. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Here we see when the sons of Vishwamitra had accepted their father's arrangement, but not all of them, only little more than one half of the sons of Vishwamitra, which is 51, Vishwamitra was very happy, and then he blessed them to become fathers of sons like him. And the other sons, which were the first 50, they didn't obey Vishwamitra's order, and therefore they were cursed to become sonless or mlechas. Actually, the elder 50 sons must have set the example, precept, to the other younger uh, sons or the younger brothers of these 50 other brothers. But unfortunately, they didn't set the example by following their father's order. According to the scriptures, even father is a guru. So therefore, one should accept father's orders and try to execute it. So the second set of sons, the last 50, and the middle son, Madhuchanda, they accepted Vishwamitra's arrangement and agreed to follow his order. And what was the order? It was very simple actually. Vishwamitra just requested all his 101 sons to accept one very advanced devotee by name Shunashepa as their eldest brother and follow him and serve him. That's all. It was such a simple order. But somehow the first 50 sons could not accept this order. But the other 51 sons accepted and they were blessed. So, in this regard, elsewhere Srila Prabhupada says, therefore, it is recommended in the scriptures that one should become a yes man of the Lord. Prabhupada uses this word called yes man. One should become a yes man of the Supreme Lord and yes man of the spiritual master. So this is a very good policy. In one lecture, Prabhupada says, before hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was presenting so many arguments as to why he didn't want to fight. But after he heard the Lord, he became a yes man. So therefore, we have to become a yes man of the Supreme Lord. That is perfection of spiritual life. Imagine how simple. We think spiritual life is quite austere, quite difficult to understand, difficult to practice. Actually, Prabhupada makes it so simple. You just have to become a yes man of the Supreme Lord. And this is perfection, not even beginning of spiritual life, perfection of spiritual life. Prabhupada continues. Now, we're all no man. God says this, I say no. So we have to become yes man instead of becoming no man. So this is what Arjuna did, as told by him, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, in Arjuna's own words, in the 18th chapter. Karishye vachanam tava, nashta moha smriti labda, tvat prasadat maya chuta, sitosmi gata sandeha, karishye vachanam tava. So Arjuna said, Krishna, by your divine instructions, my illusion is gone and I have understood my constitutional position, which is to serve you and execute your order for my good. Nashta moha smriti labdha. I have regained my Krishna conscious constitutional memory as an eternal servant of Krishna. That is the smriti labdha. We have our original relationship with the Lord primarily as the servant of the Supreme Lord. Uh, obedient, loving servant of the Supreme Lord. So that memory becomes revived when one perfects one's spiritual life, and which is made possible simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Tvat prasadat maya chuta, by your mercy, Krishna. So karishye vachanam tama. Now I am prepared to act as you direct and order. So this state or standard we should come. Prabhupada was another ideal example in the modern days where he had always been a yes man of his guru, spiritual master. Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada always indicated in many places, many lectures, many occasions, a single reason, time and again, for all the success which followed him. He said, I simply try to obey the order of my spiritual master. There's only one thing which Prabhupada stuck to. That has brought about all the success. And Prabhupada said, this is the only reason for all my success. I just obeyed, followed my spiritual master sincerely. So that is why we sing in the Guru Puja song, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Korya Aikya. One should make the order of the spiritual master as one's life and soul. See, this is the way it is being translated. One should take the order of the spiritual master as one's life and soul. See, life means just like we have prana in this body, right? So if you take away the prana, how can this body continue to exist? It becomes a dead body, shava. So prana is what is sustaining this body. So that's one. Second thing, uh, the word which is used is the soul of the disciple. This, putting it the other way, the soul is maintaining this body. If the soul quits this body has no more value. So exactly like that, the devotee's life or the disciple's life must be sustained by the prana and by the atma of the order of the spiritual master. This is what it means. So long we are a disciple or a devotee of the Lord, uh, everything is sustained by something, right? Just like Prabhupada said elsewhere, a table has got four legs, a chair may have four legs. It is sustaining. So everything is sustained by something. The disciple or the devotee's life should be sustained by the order of the spiritual master. Like our body sustained by prana, or by the food what you eat, or by the air you breathe, like that. So even sometimes it might be difficult, still one should continue to execute the order of the spiritual master to his best capability. And trying to execute the spiritual master's order itself is a success. Even if you fail in the due course, but failing to attempt or failing to execute, that is the real failure. Not exactly failing after performing, after executing. That's not a failure. Hope I am clear. So I may not achieve the result. I may not complete the task. I may even do it imperfectly. Bhajan apakva. Bhajan apakva, as Nardumuni uses instructs in his instruction to Vyasadeva. Bhajan apakva. A devotee may be imperfect in executing his devotional services. Yet, if he is sincere in his attempt to execute the order of the spiritual master, that is given full credit. In fact, on the other hand, Narada Muni says, even if one executes all material duties perfectly, what is the gain? And if one executes spiritual duties imperfectly, what is the loss? So there is full gain. That is why in spiritual life or in Krishna consciousness, the marks are not dependent on completion of the task or uh, uh, because in this material world, everything is counted by result. But in spiritual life, everything is counted by uh, sincerity of purpose, purity of the act. So this is counted. And dedication to the order of the spiritual master. So these things are taken into consideration. And success, Krishna will dictate whether it is success or failure. As far as we are concerned, we just execute our devotional services sincerely. That's all. In fact, if we execute in this mood, then even the most difficult things becomes very easy. There's a very nice reference in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There it is said, this is in Adi Leela, chapter 14, text number 1. In glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you can regard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord or as Guru, considering either of the way. Katanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet. Dushkaram sukaram bhavet. Vismrite viparitam syat Shri Chaitanyam namamitam. Prabhupada translates, things that are very difficult to do become very easy to execute if somehow or other one simply remembers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So even the most difficult things become very easy if you remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The converse is also true. If one does not remember Lord Chaitanya, even the most simple things become most difficult, become very difficult. And Krishnadas Karaj Goswami says, Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam. To this Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even difficult things become easy. And if you remember him, and if you don't remember him, even easy things become difficult. To that Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So this is the secret. By remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all our activities, even the most difficult things become very easy. Similarly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, 17th chapter, Madhya Leela, text 80, there is another reference, a famous reference, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham mande paramanandam madhavam. So one reference. This is a commentary on Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first verse in Bhavartha Deepika. There is another reference of the same verse. We'll discuss this verse. Pangum langayate shailam mukam avartayi shutrim yat kripa tamaham mandesh Krishna Chaitanya Mishwaram. This is in Antilila, chapter 1, text number 1. So I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a lame man can cross over a mountain. Pangum langayate girim. Even a lame man, a handicapped person, can cross mountains. And a dumb man can recite Vedic literature. Mukam avartayat shrutim. Muka, even a dumb person can recite Vedic literature, Shruti. Same thing is also told in Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 7th chapter, text 23. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham mande Shri Gurum Dena Tarinam. So there are 3 references. So even if truly speaking there are difficulties, see somebody is handicapped, it's a reality. It's not an imagined difficulty or difficulty due to laziness or due to non-preparedness, which is most of the times the case. We're not prepared, we're not mentally prepared, we're not serious enough like that. But these are not such cases. So actual problem cases. Somebody is actually a dumb man. Somebody is actually a lame man. Even for such persons, if they are serious, actually the spirit of this verse is that there is nothing which is difficult when it comes to executing the order of the Guru. If our willingness is there, the path will show up by itself, by the grace of Sri Guru and Lord Krishna. So that's what is the spirit of this verse. So mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayati girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dena Tarinam. So by the mercy of Guru, one can be able to render some service to the Guru and to the Supreme Lord. Overcoming all difficulties. Even if you are dumb, you can speak, you will be made to speak, you will get the power to speak. And even if you are lame, you can work wonders by even crossing mountains. So that means any difficult task also can be executed if we have firm faith on the order of the spiritual master. As we all know, Prabhupada, when he was crossing the sea, he had two heart attacks. Actually, it is almost impossible to survive, but Prabhupada survived another 11 years. He had a third heart attack also. And the fourth one was about to take place, but then nothing happened. Can you imagine? And still see the determination of Srila Prabhupada. And to a foreign land, people do not know Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, chanting, what is life of a renunciant, of a devotee. They have no interest in spiritual life, liberation, nothing. Simply eat, sleep, be merry. That's all. It's a hedonistic philosophy. Such people Prabhupada had been able to influence by the mercy of Sri Guru. So Prabhupada never gave up even in difficult circumstances. All through his life, so many difficult circumstances, but he never gave up preaching and spreading Krishna consciousness. That's an example in Bali Maharaj's life. It explains, Bhagavatam explains, um, even under most difficult circumstances, Bali Maharaj didn't give up his commitment and seva to his Lord, as we see in Prabhupada's life also in the modern times. So, coming to Bali Maharaj, it is described in the 8th canto, chapter 22. Being fixed in his vow, we know that Bali Maharaj um, agreed to give 3 steps of land to Lord Vamana. And Lord Vamana was a very small Brahmana. So, with the first step, he covered all the upper planetary systems and space. And the second step, he covered all the lower planetary systems. Third step remained. The entire universe is covered. And Bali Maharaj was Bali Chakravarti. He was the uh, king of emperor of all the planets. But all the planets is being covered. Where the third step? So Bali Maharaj being true to his promise, he offered his own head as the third place for the third step for the Lord. And this had certainly impressed the Lord. This surely impressed the Lord, because of which Bali Maharaj became the greatest of all devotees in history, Atmanivedanam. Whenever an example is to be quoted for Atmanivedanam, total surrender, not partial surrender, total surrender, Bali Maharaj is being quoted and recorded for eternity in Srimad Bhagavatam. He has attained such a status of being recorded for eternity in Bhagavatam. So, these are some of the few translations I will read verbatim, which Shukdev Goswami glorifies about Parikshit Maharaj, about Bali Maharaj's commitment and dedication. One could hardly even live under the conditions forced upon Bali Maharaj. So Shukdev Goswami is saying that Bali Maharaj endured all these severe tests and austerities is actually the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, there is no possibility of passing in this test, which was due Bali Maharaj. The Lord certainly appreciates the devotee's forbearance, and it is recorded for the future glorification of the devotee. This was not an ordinary test. See, Bhagavatam is saying the test given to Bali Maharaj was very severe. And nobody could have endured. 100% fail only. But here, Bali Maharaj 100% pass. So, although it seems to be difficult to execute, uh, if we can somehow execute the uh, order for the satisfaction of Guru and Krishna, although it appears to be difficult, and we may think why it is being made so difficult. When I want to serve the Lord, why it is being made difficult? Why difficult circumstances are coming? So that is actually uh, our test. How much we are determined to serve the Lord and the spiritual master. And the Lord has put us in so much difficulty, right? And we as small devotees, we're thinking, oh, so much test. Just like a small child thinks, oh my God, exam is so difficult. But the after exam, you see here, when the Lord has put us in such a anxiety to cross over the test in devotional service, what is the returns, the gift of sticking on to devotional service? In the case of Bali Maharaj, we see how the Lord rewarded million times more than the difficulty he underwent. So it is described in Bhagavatam. Bali Maharaj was transferred to the from the heavenly planet to a planet called Sutala Loka. This Sutala Loka is 100 times more opulent than Indra Loka. 100 times more opulent than Indra Loka. And 100 times better than heaven. As indicated by the words Swargibihi Prarthyam. So here Bhagavatam says, when the Supreme Lord takes away something from a devotee, deprives someone of material opulence, it does not mean to put him under material poverty. It actually means to promote him to a much higher position than what he is today. When the Lord takes away something, there should be no cause of fear. When the Lord doesn't give us something, there should be no cause of lamentation. It will be to give us something much better million times. But if we resist, then the Lord may sanction whatever you are due, and you can be happy at that point of time. But unreservedly, that's why bhakti, the condition for pure devotional service, as set forth by Suta Muni in the very beginning of Bhagavatam, is uh, bhakti should be rendered ahaituki apratihata. Ahaituki, causeless. There should be no reasoning why I am performing bhakti in terms of expectation in return. What will I get by rendering bhakti? It should be causeless. You should render bhakti without a cause. Except to satisfy the Supreme Lord. It should be causeless and apratihata. It should be unhindered. That means it should not be. It should be continuous. That's why we say nityam bhagavata sevaya. Devotional service should be is actually the eternal occupation of the soul, and it should continue in that way, in that manner. Not that whenever possible or when circumstances are favorable, when things are easy, when things improve, when my situation improves, we always think, right? Let my situation improve, Prabhu, I'll chant. Let my situation improve, Prabhu, I'll render service. I'll come for volunteer service. Let my situation improve, I will donate. Let my situation improve, I will come to temple. Apratihata. It has to be unhindered by any material reasonings. That is the stand of pure devotional service. Parabhakti. Parabhakti. Such kind of quality of bhakti seva, if we render, imagine this is what Krishna will reciprocate us with. He will give himself onto the devotee. So continue the description. So the Lord promotes him to much higher position when he takes away something from us. So this understanding we should have. Whenever what we desire, even in devotional service, is not offered to us, we should not lament. Even we may aspire to do something in devotional service as per my plan. We should not lament. Actually, there should nothing be as per my plan. Then there is a cause for lamentation or even cause for jubilation. Both are not desirable in devotional life. Our line is whatever Guru and Krishna wants, that is our line of thinking and execution. not what I want to render service. This is pure devotional service, different from karma yoga. Bhakti yoga, different from karma yoga. People always think, what is karma yoga, bhakti yoga difference? This is the difference. Karma yoga means I want to do. Bhakti yoga means no, whatever the Lord wants, I will do. It's a very big difference. Prabhu, I would like to do this service, Prabhu. Give me, Prabhu. You're not giving me. Or I have, I will do. I don't have, what can I do, Prabhu? I don't have, what can be done? This is karma yoga. And you're attached to that karma, not Krishna. Not devotional service per se. But still somehow you will offer. That also 5%, 1%, quarter percent or 10%. Don't know what the percentage. That is karma yoga, not 100%. Bhakti yoga is 100% dedicating the result to Krishna. And even that very act itself is as per the desire of the Lord or the Acharya. Not because I want to do this service. Any service. What is needed for my Lord, I am ready to render. Not this service or that service. Whatever is needed, I am ready to render that seva. Like Prabhupada said, there's an interesting reference. The relation between a guru and disciple. What is accepting a guru? If at all somebody wants to know, is a very good example. Once Prabhupada said, some few disciples were there. Prabhupada said, how do we accept a spiritual master? He was explaining, and Prabhupada told this. Once there was a guru and there was a disciple. And then the guru told the disciple, there was a stick lying there. So pick up the stick and come, he said. And as he was going to pick up the stick, the guru said, no, leave the stick. I don't want. So the disciple left the stick. Again the guru said, no, get the stick. So he again tried to pick up the stick. Again the guru said, no, you drop the stick. I don't want. He dropped the stick. Again the guru said, no, pick up the stick. Again he said, no, drop the stick. And he dropped it. So Prabhupada said, this is a disciple. Now you don't analyze, what is this foolish person? Or what is the sense in this? What is the purpose? Why is the guru trying to make me do this, back and forth? You don't analyze anything. No judgment. Unreservedly. And guru is not a fool. For every single thing the Acharya directs, the Lord directs, there is a reasoning. You may not know immediately unless you advance spiritually and purify your consciousness. We simply have to execute the order of the Guru. To what degree? He'll say, pick up the stick, pick up. Throw the stick, throw the stick. Again, after telling again, pick up the stick. Just no, Prabhu, you only told, don't do that. Again, Prabhu will call and say, no, do that. Again, Prabhu will say, no, don't do that. What is this, Prabhu? What's happening to him? Sometimes we think, isn't it? We are not surrendered. We have become calculative. If we become calculative, that is not surrenderance. So this is the way of accepting a spiritual master. Prabhupada tells this. It's very, you can think about it very deeply. It completely changes our quality of devotional service. Without any calculations and analysis, if the order has come, we execute it. The same order is taken back. Okay, what is the next order we're waiting for? Not being attached to that previous order. Prabhu, you only told do that service earlier, so I was doing that. Now you're saying drop it off. Drop it. Drop it. Don't be attached. You may be doing it nicely, we may be thinking. But if the order comes to drop it, drop it. What is our loss? And as we saw here, Bali Maharaj, Krishna himself is saying it. Suta Goswami is telling it. That when the Lord takes away something from the devotee, it is, he is not bereft. He should not think that he is a loser. Krishna will put him in a much higher position. Just, we have to be patient and have full faith. That's why Sharanagati principle is, one of the principles is to have full faith that my Lord is my protector and maintainer. He will never let me down. This faith has to be developed, not theoretically. So unless we are put into those circumstances, how will we actually develop that Shraddha? So therefore, sometimes the Lord puts us in such situations. One more example in Bhagavatam is referred to Sudama Vipra suffered. These are the words used in Bhagavatam. Sudama Vipra suffered severe material scarcity. See, Bali Maharaj we saw. Everything was snatched away from him. Sudama, we can see severe material scarcity, but he was not disturbed, nor did he deviate from devotional service. He stuck on to the principle of devotional service. Very, very happily. No, without any resentment, nor any lamentation. Sometimes we do devotional service in lamentation. It's okay, what to do? Let me tolerate. It's not even in that mood. As jubilant as earlier, as ever. Sudama Vipra. Very, very jubilantly. Even Bali Maharaj, very happily he gave his head. So, without reservation, this is called Ahaituki Apratihata devotional service. Happily, joyfully, Hrut wholeheartedly, we render devotional service. We offer ourselves to the Lord and to the Acharya. So then, we'll be very, very happy in devotional service. We'll be very perfectly situated in devotional service. So, Sudama Vipra was in severe material scarcity, but he was not disturbed, nor did he deviate from devotional service. Thus, he was ultimately given an exalted position by the mercy of Lord Krishna. Generally, after the test is over, the results are declared. So, our test is not over still. That's why sometimes you may not see the result. Somebody will always think, Prabhu, I have rendered service. Prabhu, I have been sincere. Prabhu, I have chanted so many years. But I am not seeing that advancement. I am not seeing that progress. Your test results are still awaited. So let's be patient. It's like your exam is over 1 month. It will take time to declare the results. Let's be patient. And Krishna guarantees the result of devotional service is always positive. Swalpam api asa dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Materially, spiritually, it will always be good for the devotee. So, like this, if we can take up the order of Krishna and Guru wholeheartedly, then just like Vishwamitra was pleased and he blessed his sons to also become father of their sons. So they receive the blessing. Similarly, we also readily accept the order of Guru and Krishna, so much will be blessed with devotional strength, devotional inspiration, devotional enthusiasm. Interestingly, they had one blessing. You can just see, I had actually counted. Our life is filled with blessings. The morning Guru Puja song we are singing, entire song is a blessing song. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Satma. Because we have a spiritual master, Kevala Bhakati Satma, we are blessed with pure devotional service, the rarest of all things. Rupa Goswami says, one of the quality of devotional service is that it is rarely achieved, very rarely achieved. And Prabhupada has blessed us with that pure devotional service. Imagine, here they're blessed with sons only, to become fathers of the sons. We are blessed with pure devotional service. Kevala Bhakati Satma. Then, Jahara Prasade Bhai Ye Bhava Turiya Jai. We are blessed with being able to cross over the ocean of material existence. You see? Which takes millions and millions of lives to become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Immediately we are elevated to the platform of liberation. Just by meditating on the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Just by executing the order of the spiritual master. So, ye bhava turiya jai. And Krishna prapti hoy jaha. We are obtaining the greatest benediction of Krishna. Here they got sons. They're becoming father. We are getting the blessings of attaining Krishna, the highest achievement ever. People are working for lifetime achievement award, Limca records, Guinness records, this record, that record. We are getting Krishna himself as our reward, award. You can think in all those ways and means. Then, Shri Guru Charana Rate Aise Uttamagati. The lotus feet of the spiritual master is the best means of spiritual understanding. Even great rishis and munis, as it is described in Brahma Samhita also, even they don't understand the nuances and the uh, uh, confidential reasons and meanings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and devotional service. Even they don't know. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. It is locked up in the heart of a pure devotee. Only he can reveal the secrets of devotional service, the secrets of Krishna consciousness. So, so we have access to that spiritual understanding every day. How much we are able to understand. Even Pandits are not able to understand. So that's not our material pride, it's a spiritual pride, and it's actually a kripa. It's actually a grace. It's actually a grace of the Guru, Sri Guru upon us. So we are actually eternally indebted to that Sri Guru, actually Srila Prabhupada, for getting this correct, bona fide spiritual understanding. Not easy. So, Shri Guru Charanate Aise Uttamagati. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. All our spiritual desires will be perfected, will be fulfilled. Then, Chakkudan Dilo Jai. See another blessing. There is awakening of transcendental knowledge. It's another blessing. Janme Janme Prabhu said to get a pure devotee as our spiritual master. Uttamadikar is a spiritual master life after life. Even after we go to Goloka, Prabhupada will be our loving spiritual master. And there's a fear, you get something valuable, there's a fear of losing it, right? Anything, whether, name, place, thing, whatever you name it, there's a fear of losing it. Here we have the security, eternal security of having the blessings of pure devotee, Uttamadikari spiritual master as our Guru, fixed up for eternity, locked up for eternity. See, we may become prime minister, we may become a rich man, some period only. Again, the term will end, that period of richness will come down. We may not be rich all the while, all the lives. Here, see the richness of having a pure spiritual master locked up for eternity. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. So, transcendental knowledge is awakened within our own heart. Don't even have to read too many scriptures. If you have faith in Guru, he will reveal within our heart. Prema Bhakti. See how many places, actually the list is endless. Prema Bhakti, you will get Prema Bhakti, which is the highest. Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuka Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. We are getting Prema Bhakti. Avidya Vinasha Jate, then ignorance is dispelled. There is another blessings. Veda Gai Jahara Charito. The glories of the character, the glorious character of the spiritual master, Vedas are declaring. And we are able to hear that opportunity to even hear the Guru's glorious character. Itself is a greatest auspicious activity and blessing. We are hearing news which is inauspicious every day. Hearing material news is inauspicious for the soul, for the spiritual journey. Hearing the glories of the spiritual master, the character of the spiritual master is all auspicious for the all-round development of the spirit soul. So that the list is endless. How much blessings we have. So we are extremely blessed. So because sometime we decided, yes man, we accept the Diksha, we are saved. We accept Prabhupada, we are saved. I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय.